Oh.
Yeah, that's an intro, baby. That's what you call an intro.
That's what's up.
Beer stocks keep rising.
That's right. Bidenomics, the only good thing. But beer prices are going up too, though. I guess Jammer
beer prices are going up.
Jammer exited. I guess
he might have dropped out.
Yeah.
If he was.
Oh, he dropped out too. Could be my connection because I'm on the friggin' Wi-Fi. Let's see if you dropped out, Jammer fan. Well, Jammer fan froze up. I might be freezing up too because I'm on Wi-Fi and I moved. So, yeah. Jammer fan will boot you and then bring you back in. There you are. Oh, there's Jammer too.
Hello.
Hey, I lost Jammer fan.
All because of the eclipse.
All because of the eclipse. I don't know what's going on now. It looks like it's sealing, but he was frozen.
Yeah, it's because of the eclipse, people. You there?
We got Jammer on. Yeah. Yeah, he'll probably come back.
I hope to be back.
Yeah. There he is. Could be because of the eclipse.
Yeah. It froze up, man. The eclipse is it's running us ragged, man. I'm telling you, it's an alien invasion, guys. Nobody believes me because I'm drunk, but it's an alien invasion. Trust me. This is the first stage. They're not.
It could be actually a lot of people on their phones right now. All these celebrations, a lot of data being used. What do you think? Hundreds of thousands of people like, hey, I'm at the Eclipse party. Woo! We're watching the Spinner Swallow Beer Reviews live Eclipse party. Jammer fan froze again. Could be the eclipse, man. I mean, he's closer to it right now, right?
I guess so, yeah, because it's sweeping across.
Well, shit, I don't know. I don't know how all that works. Well, he's closer to the moon, I think. I don't know shit. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, well, it's been a weird vibe all this week leading up into the eclipse. So they say that this is going to be you got 40 days to repent and ask for forgiveness and all that stuff because it's going to crisscross at rapture.
Yeah.
That the last eclipse and this eclipse is going to crisscross across the United States at rapture.
Oh, yeah, in that area, Little Egypt and all that over there. And then also, it's going to be like the Exodus, like leaving Egypt, going to Israel, the Promised Land. It took them 40 years. The rapture is going to happen. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm trying, man. The eclipse is, Biden is trying to stop this meeting from happening. Damn it.
He's probably he's stealing all that solar energy for those cars.
Yeah. Thanks, Obama. Thanks, Obama. Sorry. Everybody's still there?
I was just saying that everybody better make sure the cars are charged up before the eclipse, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
That's true. That's 4 minutes without. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Nice zing.
Yeah.
Now imagine if you get in a plane and try to fly from Mexico all the way up to the Northeast and follow the eclipse from when it starts. Totality.
Yeah.
I don't think it'd go fast enough, but yeah. It was a Russian supersonic rocket.
Yeah. Go ahead, Shag.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. The only way you keep up with that shadow, I guess, going from Mexico to the Northeast, because it's like 2 hours, right? From time it's totality in Mexico to the time it's totality in Northeast. I don't know, 2 or 3 hours.
Something like that.
You need a fast plane.
Yeah, but you're going to need to get Ray Charles as your fucking pilot because you're going to go blind looking at the fucking eclipse for that long. Though you can't have a guy up there just flying. He's going to need some kind of crazy goggles, but then he can't see what he's fucking doing.
Right.
You know?
Well, as long as you don't look
you need a pilot that's already blind who kind of like navigates through the instrument panel. They're kind of going off their GPS, but they're not looking at anything, you know?
I like your way of thinking, but Ray Charles is dead, so we're going to have to use Stevie Wonder instead.
Stevie Wonder, yeah.
Stevie Wonder would be like on the
he's flying. He's just bobbing his head. He's flying. He's just, I'm Stevie Wonder. So I think the Stevie Wonder pilot school for the disabledly blind pilots would be a great academy to have out there, you know?
Stevie Wonder be singing, I caught P. Diddy, but it didn't catch me when I was with Michael Jackson when he was younger.
That's a deep cut, man. That's a fucking deep cut. I didn't see
what I was doing, but it felt so good.
Now I'm gonna fly some planes to fly away. It's like, you know, he's just flying a plane, doesn't know what he's doing. He's like, hopefully God's on my side because I can't see. Like, he's just like,
he'd have a guide in hand, I think. P. Diddy.
That's the ultimate leap of faith, Shagdog, being a blind pilot. Or you can see, but you just put a blindfold on, you get behind the cockpit, and you're like, if God is real, I'll make it. I'll fucking land. How often do you think that's fucking working out?
What are you going to say, Jammer?
I was just going to say Lenny Kravitz would be, have a song for Stevie there, I'll fly away or whatever,
Oh, yeah. I want to fly.
Fly away. Fly away. I want to fly away. Yeah.
Jet Airliner, another one.
That'd be a good skit, actually. Stevie Wonder doing a bunch of different Fly songs. So him covering other people's songs.
And then like these people get on an air. They see the Stevie Wonder show, right? Then the skits, like they all get on a plane. Oh, it was great going to Vegas to see Stevie Wonder. But then you see him get on board as the pilot, and he goes to the cockpit, and all these people are like, "Wait a minute." Like, I don't know if I want Stevie to be my fucking pilot.
Yeah.
That would be bad, wouldn't it?
I wish I could do a Stevie Wonder actual good singing impersonation because I come up with some
good singing impersonation. It's hard though, man.
I do "Fly to the Angels" by Slaughter. Stevie Wonder.
Well, I'm at my location, guys. I'm gonna have to go.
Oh, are you trying to show us the sun and the moon?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I guess so.
I'm blind.
Oh, shit. It does look all crazy. It looks kind of crazy. It looks kind of, maybe it's just because of the phone, but the clouds. There's like streaks. There's like some chemtrail streaks.
Yeah.
Hey, let me tell you this. 2 things. One, look at the movies of old time, right? Like the 70s, 80s, even going back to the 60s and the 50s. Look at the movies that are outside in real life, outside for real. And look at how those clouds are nice and puffy and everything.
Yeah.
Look at the clouds that we've had for the past 20 years here. And
the wispy, they're really wispy and like very kind of see-through.
Yeah.
Yeah, these clouds are not puffy or any of that. It's all just like a streak across the sky cloud,
Even the chemtrails. You look at the old movies, you hardly see chemtrails, I don't think, right?
Yeah. Yeah, now they're all over the fucking place, yeah.
Do you see the sky right there?
Yeah. Is that the moon?
Like crisscrossing of
I see the Cookie Monster.
Yeah, I see Cookie Monster too. Oh, you captured Cookie. You got that's the Eclipse Cookie Monster. Nobody's ever seen that. Nobody's ever got that
Looks
before.
like 2 eyes, nose, big wide open mouth.
Yeah, no, it's again the Eclipse Cookie Monster. Yeah, Jammer got it. Jammer got it on camera. It's like getting a Yeti. The Eclipse Cookie Monster.
If you look back towards
No, I can see all those chemtrails there. Yeah, they're all kind of crazy.
Yeah, but I noticed this the other day when I was looking at the old film, the old Charles Bronson film. I was looking at the clouds in it, and I'm like, man, those clouds are puffy. And I remember in the 80s they were puffy and all that stuff. But then all of a sudden,
they were big and puffy. Yeah, like you could see people would see animals in the clouds because you'd see like a big puffy shape, and you'd be like, oh, that looks like a dog or whatever, you know. Now it's just all cookie monsters.
Yeah, you lay down on the ground, look up at the sky, and see all these wonderful little.
Yeah, you don't have that anymore. Wow, I didn't think about that.
And then the other thing was the whole that whole bridge thing. They said that the black box was turned off.
There's a black box in a boat.
Yeah, they said that.
I mean, if you wanted to get the news cycle off of the bad parts about what you were doing and seem like a hero, yeah, it's kind of almost like what they say with 9/11. You just wreck something. You wreck a bridge, you wreck a building or whatever, and then you go in and go like, oh, we're coming in with the response. We're rebuilding. We're doing this. It's like, you know, remember after 9/11, Rudy Giuliani, everybody was like, he's America's mayor. Like he's rebuilt, you know, like and I don't think he had anything to do with 9/11, but it's just you know, there's a disaster and then somebody comes to help and it's, you know.
It was a big distraction, this whole boat thing. Every time that they want to, and let me just put it this way, it seems like, I think it's coincidental. It's too coincidental, but it seems like every time gas prices start to go down, what happens? A tanker crashes, a ship, you know, a tanker truck crashes, train crashes.
No car. How they stop the cars from going over?
That's what I was thinking. I thought it was going to be like that movie 2012 where the bridges are like blowing up from the earth or whatever, and you see the cars getting flung off. And I was like, how did like people not just get fucked up on this thing going down?
Granted, it was 1 o'clock in the morning, but before that hit, how many cars went over that in trucks? Like 10, 15 cars, you know, about.
It's very busy, very busy, even in the middle of the night. Very busy. Yeah.
So I think someone slipped. Two people knew about it and they stopped traffic. They're like, yeah, well, I want to save some lives. It should have been worse. Those guys are in trouble.
Whole situation. Every time there's something going on, there's something in the news cycle that distracts. Anytime they want to push gun legislation, you know, all that stuff, all of a sudden there's another shooting.
Yeah.
You know, I get it. It's a lot of it, maybe not coincidence. Maybe it just be chance, but
yeah,
it just seems odd that it's always about the same time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you know, here's Biden again trying to pay for college election year, trying to get them buy them votes.
Yeah, well, it's really messed up. But if you ever notice, look at the films though. Going back to the cloud, look at the films back then, and tell me if that's not true today.
Yeah, I don't see any puffy clouds where you can look, hey, wow, that one looks like Jammerfan and drinking a Chardonnay with a hop-infused hot water.
I got a lot of chemtrails out here for some reason. This is the most I've ever seen up here where my mom's at. Most I've ever seen. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 so far that I can count.
Chemtrails?
Yeah.
Wow.
Planes have flown, you know, and everything.
But maybe it's the way the eclipse and the sunlight's going. Maybe it's showing more than you usually see.
I don't know, but it's really crazy.
Yeah.
Remember when COVID happened or not even COVID, 911, they shut the airplanes down for 2 days and the sky was clear blue for like, at least where I was, for like 2 or 3 days. You didn't see no fucking planes and the sky was clear. And even COVID, with all the cars not running as much, man, it was nice out for a couple weeks, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I better go.
All right.
Y'all take care.
All right, John.
Get mowing that lawn, boy. All right, see you
Good
later.
to see you. Yeah, good to see you, man.
Yeah.
I wanted to call somebody boy today. Sorry it was you.
You're like, boy.
Yeah. Messing with me. Oh, geez, what the heck?
All right. Well, Jammerfan, if you're off tomorrow, or Jammer, both of you, I'm off tomorrow night. I might do some beer reviews. I got 2 beers to review.
Yeah, I might be able to pop on. Maybe.
Yeah. What about you, Jammer? Yeah.
Me.
Okay. You said me?
All right.
Yeah. All right, me. Somebody must have been there. His mother or sister.
Yeah, because he's like, bye, gotta go. That was cool. He managed to pop on for a bit. That was cool. You know.
Ready to try. I sent him a message earlier. I said, man, so what's going on? I haven't heard from you all weekend. So you working this weekend? Because usually when he works on the weekends, he'll chat with me from work. Maybe because he got in trouble at work though a couple days ago. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, he got not trouble, but yeah, I think the Jammerthon. Did you see him doing that? All the beer drinking he was doing for the past week.
Yeah, he was.
I think it caught up because the one day he did about a couple beer reviews, then he did like 2 or 3 beer reviews after work. But 12-hour shifts, you gotta get up. Yeah. You get home, you gotta go to bed within 2 hours. Be back up, go to work. So he did something at work that night. So I don't know if those 2 or 3 beer reviews he did affected him, but they called him back the next day. It was his days off, and then he said, "Oh, you fucked up on this," and so.
Oh shit!
I mean, it was a very simple mistake. Like anybody could do something with a date. Like I guess it wasn't on the product itself, but on a report or something. He put the expiration date was June 2024 instead of June 2025 or whatever it was.
Oh, okay.
And they actually called him about it, so he was all upset about they were calling him about it. Shit. Oh man, you can't do no more Jammerthons.
Yeah.
Drinking all week long, screw it up.
I'm sure that Jammer is a very cognizant, very smart guy. So I'm sure calling him out on a mistake, he probably takes it personally. He's like, "Oh shit,"
Yeah, but I mean, what's really weird about that? He had to write a report of why that happened. All you gotta say, what's a fucking brain fart?
Oh,
when the year changes, like say January 2024, you're still writing 2023, and you're oh shit, it's 2024 now. Yeah. Something like that, but
yeah, if you work for corporate America, you're never, even if you're the boss, you're not really the boss, right? Like, I feel like if you own your own company, you don't got to deal with that kind of shit. But at the same time, I'm sure he's got like good retirement, good benefits, like that kind of shit. Working for a big company,
Oh, he makes good money for Florida money.
Yeah. Although, dude, Florida is now getting pretty expensive, though. Unfortunately, I know people that live there that are like the cost of living is.
Yeah, because he when he left the competition for that company, when he left that company to go to where he's at now, he got like a $7 or $8 raise an hour. So with them, with that, the way the inflation's gone for the 2 years, it's a good thing he went, I guess. So, I mean, even where I worked, they went up when I left there in 2019. They went up between then and they got a raise, like out of 2 raises since then, but they're up to like $6 more an hour than when I left there. So the raises have gone up certain places, but it still hasn't outweighed the cost of living. They show the charts where the cost of living is like this, wages going up like this. So cost of living is still beating the way the wages come up. So oh well, what can you do? Solar eclipse.
Yeah, fucking eclipse, dude.
Yeah, I like I like that picture you sent me earlier today. That was nice.
Which one?
The bomb.
Oh, the nuclear bomb. Yeah, I was kind of almost like in a like just sardonic sort of semi-depressed mood. I'm just like, we're finally going to have this war with the Soviets but yeah, it was like So when they started testing, so when they test the atomic bombs, they were these little mushroom clouds. But when they did the hydrogen bombs and the big bombs, it looks like what I showed you, where it's just just this huge, and the mountain ranges that are by it, it just like even dwarfs the mountains. It just goes miles into the fucking sky.
Yeah, they say the Tsar Bomba went up like 60 kilometers or some shit like that.
Yeah.
The big ones that the Russians have.
Yeah. That's exactly what that would look like. It's beautiful looking, but it's also like, man, we really have harnessed the power of God. And like, if enough of those bombs go off at once, dude, it's kind of like night time for humanity, you know?
Yeah. That'd be fun. I hope I'm in direct hit. I am close to where some place is going to get hit because I'm by a military base that's, main place for cyber warfare. So, they're getting hit. I'm probably
I'm by fucking Cheyenne Mountain, dude.
Oh, yeah, like, you're getting hit.
Yeah, like we have, and then Colorado Springs also has got like a huge Air Force thing. And then there's silos east of me out in Greeley, Colorado. Yeah. There's some nuclear silos out there and stuff. So I'm right in the, potential nuke zone.
Even with good case scenario, that's the worst. A good case scenario with the nuclear war is they're going to hit the silos, bases, stuff like that. Worst case scenario though, they're going to hit cities. Take out population. Stuff like that. Yeah,
so. Denver will probably get hit, and I'm only about 100 miles north of Denver, so. Even if I don't get vaporized in the initial blast, like I'm pretty close. It's not going to be good.
Yeah, especially if it's a Tsar Bomba.
Yeah, the Tsar Bomba. That's kind of funny. The Tsar Bomba.
This map way back in the day, it's probably changed because this is like from a 1970 report, 1970s. If a nuclear war happened, the safest place in America, and there's no military bases. No big cities. There's one small city.
Montana or something?
No, because Montana's going to get hit in different locations because of military stuff.
Yeah.
So, but this place is north central Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Not anywhere with a couple hours. I mean, they're like 2 hours away from any place that's going to get hit at the closest. 2 hour drive. So, but it's probably changed since then. Who knows? Because I watched one video that said they have a secret military base there now because of that.
Oh, because nobody thinks there's one there, so that's a perfect place to put one.
Right.
Like, shit.
Yeah.
So the eclipse is 11:30 my time, which means is what 10:30 for you or 9:30.
Right now it's 11:21 right now here. I don't know what time it's supposed to be here because I see that map and I just see the percentage of the whatever. We're like 60% or something like that.
So you're on what state are you in again? South Carolina, or is that where you're at?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let's do a quick little. I'm gonna do a quick Google.
I'm on the west side of South Carolina, in the middle, right by Georgia, Augusta. You froze. Damn you!
Oh, I'm still here. I'm still here, man. Yeah, it's fine. I'm trying to figure out what time is the eclipse in South Carolina? Oh, weird. Yeah. It's 3:05 p.m. for you.
Yeah.
For me, it's going to be in 2 hours around 11:30. I think it just depends where you are in the.
Yeah, because the shadow starts off in Mexico and then comes northeast.
Yeah. So
it's basically the sun. Yeah, for you, I guess the sun's over here, and then it comes over this way, and that's why the shadow.
Because I'm way west of you, So
yeah.
I'm actually north of you too. I'm not sure where South Carolina lines up, but I think Colorado is more north. If you were just to draw a straight line across the U.S., I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still a little bit north of you.
Yeah, let me draw that line right now. Let's see. Where are you at? What city are you in again?
I'm northern Colorado, by the border of Wyoming and Colorado.
Let me just do a map. Let's see.
like for instance, I'm about a 30, 40-minute drive from the border of Wyoming. So it's pretty north up in Colorado. Fort Collins, but you just got to look at the border. Colorado and Wyoming is pretty close there.
All right, let's look at that. Oh yeah, you're way north. Oh yeah, you're way north. Because if you actually go straight across to the East Coast, you're parallel with like Philadelphia or something, a little bit north, maybe than Philadelphia. Actually, yeah, or maybe parallel with Philadelphia, somewhere around there. Maybe even New York.
And then because it's the Rocky Mountains, our elevation's also pretty high too. So, I don't know.
So you can look out and tell that it's a flat Earth, right?
Definitely, yeah. No, actually, I'm even higher than Denver. So Denver is the mile-high city. I'm about 600 feet above Denver, even. So
let's see. How high
they say that thin air can make you go crazy. There's some people that try to come and live up here, and it's just like, especially if they've been living at sea level their whole lives, they have trouble adapting to. And it can make you go a little nuts when you don't have enough oxygen in your brain.
Yeah. You know what my elevation is above sea level right now?
200 feet, 300 feet?
461.
All right. Not too bad. But yeah, I'm like, I think I'm somewhere in the 4,000 range, like 4,000 feet. 3,800, 4,000, something like that.
You want to see what Jammer is right now? At his
Probably
mother's house,
30,
which is a little
probably
inland.
30 or 40.
I don't even know if it's that much, but let's check. Let's see what the hell.
I had to check something. If you see my screen go weird, it's because I'm checking something.
Okay.
I'm gonna check what my exact elevation is. So we have all the numbers. Oh damn, 5,003 feet. So I'm rocking and rolling at 5,000.
Oh wow. Date's where he's at is 118 inches. What's that? Wait, no, that's feet. Okay, 118 feet.
118 feet. That's still pretty close to the sea level. And then you're 400, but like I said, I'm 5,003. Dude, that's pretty high. That's pretty elevated.
Oh, yeah, because 5,000 what is a mile actually, right? 5,200.
I thought it was 4,875. How much is a mile? What's the over under guess on this?
I think it's 5,400.
5,400. Oh, maybe this isn't the Mile High City then. Yeah. Damn.
I called it Mile High City, but I don't think it's actually a mile. 5,280.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
close.
Not quite, but 5,003 is pretty close.
Yeah, that's close.
Yeah.
Was Denver,
I mean, that's
Denver's more than you or less?
I don't know. Look it up. I don't know. I'm 5,003 Denver elevation. I think Denver's a little bit lower, but
it says 5,280 for Denver.
Oh, I guess they are. I guess maybe there's a little bit of a. I don't know. I thought it was
80 feet above a mile. Hence, Mile High City. Yeah, they're bigger than you.
Okay. No wonder Denver. Everybody seems like a lot higher.
Yeah.
You go out. There's a dispensary of every 10 feet in Denver. It's probably the most weed-filled city in the history of mankind.
Wow.
So
I don't do weed. I mean, of course, I got lung issues. I think I could smoke. It's not going to affect me too much as far as my lung. Because I
only vape now. So when I smoke, I only do flower, but I put it in a flower vaporizer. Yeah. And it doesn't. It just burns it at like 300 degrees, and instead of it turning black, the ash or gray, it's just a light brown color, and you're just getting water vapor. So it's really easy on the lungs. Because I just I got sick of like always hacking. Like when I was smoking weed all the time, like actually burning it, I would always cough up black. I would cough up black shit all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because your lungs are. I mean, did you ever have a smoker lung kind of thing when you smoke cigarettes? Like, would you hack up? Would you cough up any shit ever?
Not a lot, but once in a blue moon, I get to hack where I hack it up like yellow phlegm and stuff. Yeah, get tobacco like taste into it or whatever.
Yeah, it builds up stuff. So yeah, I vape, but I don't use the vape cartridges. I did for a little bit, but the vape cartridges also they're saying it's really bad for you. The chemicals, the glycose, or they use all these chemical. I mean, anytime you turn a plant into like a goo, it's not going to be good for you, So yeah, it's fuck. Like I just.
Have you ever done edibles?
I was just about to say I do edibles or I do the vaporization of the flower.
Oh.
Here's the thing with edibles, man. It takes 2 hours to hit you, like to make like it takes a long time. So it's hard to dose it. Like if you vape, it hits you right away, so you can kind of tell how much you're getting. I mean, just imagine if you drank beer, but it took 2 hours to hit you. If you take too much, once it hits you, you're fucked.
Yeah. So if I drank like 20 beers, wow, I'm not getting drunk, and then all of a sudden, at 2 hours,
it just hits you, and then you can't stop it at that point. But edibles make you really paranoid, like high school paranoid. You're like looking over the fence for the cops. You're like,
even if you're in the comfort of your home.
Yeah, it can make you really paranoid. I don't know what it is. It's a different type of high. For instance, Bill Maher. Most people hate him. He's real like liberal, Bill Maher, but he's a big pothead. And during the pandemic, his doctor said, "Don't smoke any weed." So he was doing edibles, and he talks about it too. Like it can be a weird paranoid kind of high, but it lasts a long time, and you feel it more in your body though. Like when you vape or smoke, it's more kind of in your head, right?
Yeah.
But with the edibles, you feel it everywhere. So if it's a bad trip, if you get on a bad edible trip, it sucks because it takes 4 or 5 hours till it's over.
Damn, that's good. You better do it like.
And there's nothing you can.
You got some free time.
Yeah, it's like being on LSD or something. There's nothing you can do to stop it. You could even go to the hospital and they're going to be like, "All right, you're on a bad trip," but they can't do any. You just have to ride it out.
No, I mean, there's marijuana. It's not a bad high though, right? I mean, you might be a little paranoid, but anything else or?
Dude, I'm an experienced user, and I've had some bad edible trips that suck.
Oh, really?
Like because it gets your heartbeat going really fast, and then also like I don't know if you've ever been super fucked up where it's hard to swallow. Like you sort of like some of your muscles become so relaxed that it's shit. And I think also you get that dry mouth and it's hard to swallow. Your heart's beating fast. You have this paranoia.
So I better go to vape.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you have to know you have to like start slow. Like, so they sell marijuana out here. The edibles are in 10 milligram doses, which somebody who's experienced will take like 200 milligrams. And they sell them in 10. So if you take 10 milligrams, like I've actually had a bad trip once off even that. But if you do 10 milligrams, like it's just they sell them in small amounts because so many people will go into the ER when edibles first came out. Because I will tell you, it makes you it triggers a panic attack and you think you're dying. People and marijuana does not kill people.
So really, if you're going to do edibles, you should probably be well rested. Probably not on any caffeine or any other type of thing, right?
Because it's going to make your heart rate go up, yeah.
Yeah, so you probably should be hydrated, well rested, no caffeine in your system, at least for 5 hours.
Or even alcohol. I've done alcohol in edibles. That's also really fucking bad news. Yeah. But you know what? I can vape with alcohol and it's not a problem. Edibles just hit different. You know what I mean? But if you vape flower, it's not hard on your lungs. It's not like smoking. It's not like vaping a liquid. It's just like natural flower from the earth.
Yeah, I had some paranoid once smoking. What me and my friend and my younger brother my friend brought some shit he bought from his work that he worked at a tire shop or something. He's like, I got some shit. We're smoking in the basement. And then we're like, let's go walk around. It's the middle of winter in Pennsylvania. My brother was barefooted. It wasn't snow out, but it was cold, But we're walking around every time a car's coming. I'm like, because they had paddy wagons there, and where I lived in Pennsylvania. And every time I saw like a truck come out, I was like, "Oh fuck, it's a paddy wagon!" And we're like hiding. It's a damn like one time it was a bus, like a Trailways bus.
Oh,
I mean, there was a place down where they parked them, like a few blocks down. I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Paddy wagon." It was all paranoid. And my brother was walking around barefooted. Didn't even affect him.
Yeah, it's what's funny is that it's getting really popular out here with the seniors, the marijuana, because it helps with aches, pains, insomnia, helps with a lot of ailments.
Yeah.
And you don't need a prescription. You just go to if you're over 21, you just go to the dispensary and you're like, I can't sleep. What can you give me? And they give you something. So it's interesting. And marijuana was legal before the prohibition in the United States. So you used to be able to go to like a pharmacy and they would give you marijuana back then. So it's kind of like gone back to how it was. I think if they actually really studied it and tried to make medicines based out of it, like where you could get rid of the side effects but have the benefits, if it was federally legal, I think they could do that. And people are saying, oh, big pharma doesn't want weed to be legal, blah, blah, blah. There's all these conspiracies. Well, couldn't big pharma make a lot of money off of it if it was legal? Like, couldn't they develop,
You would think. And they probably like jack the hell of the price out of it. Yeah.
Probably. But here's the thing, and maybe I agree with this part of the conspiracy, is that marijuana is really easy to grow at home. It would be like if they were selling insulin, but you could just grow your own insulin at home. You're like, well, if the price goes too high, you're like, I'll just grow it myself. That's why in some states they're legalizing marijuana, but they're making it illegal to grow at home because it kind of fucks with the market prices a little bit. If you can, versus Colorado is very liberal with the marijuana laws here, dude. I could grow 6 plants at once if I want. And I'm talking like 4 or 5 foot plants. Like, I mean, I'm talking like I could have duffel bags of marijuana that I could grow legally. But growing marijuana is actually very hard. I looked into it, and I didn't know this. You have to actually vent the heat outside. So I was going to have to, like how they have those air conditioner units in the window will be open and there's an air conditioner unit, but then the rest of the part where the window would be exposed, you have to kind of build like a material in there and kind of fit it to the window. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
With marijuana, you have to have this, and I'm talking like a 4 or 5 inch pipe sized. You have to have a little duct going out of your marijuana tent with a fan out the window, because these fucking things can get as hot as an oven and it'll kill your plants because you have all the lights. You're growing it indoor with grow lights, and the lights generate, even LED lights generate a ton of heat. I mean, like enough to where you need to vent it at least. And Julia was like, fuck no, we're not going to be venting something out the window. She's like, this isn't a fucking meth lab, Heisenberg. So my fucking dreams of growing marijuana got shot down really quick. She's like, what if my family and friends are over and like we have a huge exhaust port going through the fucking window? Like, we're going to look like fucking crackheads. She's like, we're not doing that.
Star Wars fan. That's the exhaust port out of the Death Star.
Yeah, just a fucking exhaust. Like, that's where they would fire. That's where the DEA is going to fire a torpedo to blow up my grow organization. But no, dude, it was like and then by the way, your house will reek of fucking pot if you grow pot. Like, if you think regular pot is smelly, you should smell it when it's like growing. So then you need to have these towers you put in that are big carbon filters that are like little fans where they filter out the smell. So then you have an exhaust port going out the window. You have all these big carbon filters filtering the smell. And I might as well have like fucking beakers of fucking blue meth hanging around, because at that point it just looks like a fucking drug grow, like you're. Yeah. It's not something that you can. I feel like in the 90s, people would grow in their closet or something. Like you could just grow a tiny plant.
I knew someone that had one plant grow when I lived in New York as a teenager. He had one plant.
He just had one plant, one teeny little pot plant. Yeah.
Out in his backyard by the fence. And he had other stuff growing around it, so you could barely see it until it got like really tall and you could see it. But yeah, it's fun.
No, I knew a friend that grew something in his closet. He didn't have any of that vent stuff, but you know what? I bet you the weed was really weak and he probably got like 4 or 5 little buds off of it. Like the stuff they sell now, I'm telling you, I would have 6 plants taller than me growing in a tent that would be putting out like fucking pounds and pounds of weed and shit. Wow. Like, you know, like huge amounts. So I think that's part of the problem. I don't think that you can even grow like, I don't think they even sell stuff to just like, I just want to grow a tiny little plant and get like 5 pieces of weed. I don't think you could even do that unless you just, I don't know, rigged it up yourself. I think that's what you did back then, right? Some people would get like some kind of like little halogen light they'd hang in their closet and you'd spray it. My buddy had a little spray thing and you just, dude, now you have to get nutrients. You get these bags of nutrients and it's like a total like hydroponic kind of grow where you're like supplementing different like you have to use I don't know if you've ever heard of worm casing. So the shells of worms are really high nutrients. That's why, like, have you heard that like in people's compost there'll be worms in the compost or whatever for the nitrogen? Like it has to all do with this. Like I guess you need like really high nitrogen soil, but then you can grow like this crazy super chronic out of that though. But it requires like a fuck ton. Yeah, you should get more of your weed, Shagdog, your drinkable weed.
I can only get one more because I gotta go to bed. I gotta go to work tonight. So.
I gotta go to bed soon too because I've been up since like fucking 2 a.m. man. I couldn't sleep last night, and that's why this morning I was like, I saw you on, and you're like, oh, I'm doing a drinking and thinking. I was like, I'm up, I'm drunk.
Yeah, I got one more beer to go, then I have to hit the hay. I'll be right back though. Yes, keep people entertained.
Well, I'll be right back too. Let's just do a quick intermission. Like, well, we just got to play some elevator music. Ba 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 ba.
Here, I'll play some music that it's on here.
All right, yeah, let's play some. Yeah, quick elevator music. Yeah,
let's see. Brand music. I don't even know if this shit lasts long.
There we go. All right, little intermission. Whoop. Intermission. Woo.
I'm back. Y'all back. Yeah, people. So we went straight from the Eclipse talking about buds. So, yeah. So straight from the Eclipse, talk about buds. So I got a new song. Making buds out of nothing at all. Making buds out of nothing at all. Making buds I'm making buzz out of nothing at all. Total eclipse of the bud. All right.
Well, I'm officially out of alcohol here. That's just because I haven't been drinking as much lately, so I'm not as stocked up as I used to be. So I'm switching over to just pure hop water now. But I'm still getting that hoppy goodness, man.
That's true.
I love hops. I love the taste of hops, And the hop water is good if you're trying to cut back a little,
Would you say there's any dankness in that hop water?
I would, but you guys think that means dish soap. I think it means a cannabis, citrusy, piney kind of,
But I've had some beers that even, I know how you say is dank, what you're saying is, but I've had some beers that actually really, to me, taste dank, and it's like a 420 type theme beer.
Okay.
Really dank, tastes skunky, dank, or whatever,
Yeah. Almost the way that Heineken, even though they don't intend it, if you have the bottles, it's skunky when it's got that skunk. Yeah. That skunk would be a thing. They have so many different types of hops now that this uses Azaka, Simcoe. This is more like the fruity kind of piney and fruity, almost tropical, So, and it also has mushrooms in it too. I don't know if you've heard of ashwagandha and cordyceps. Have you heard of these adaptogenic mushrooms? They don't get you high, but the mushrooms that the healthy mushrooms, it's a big thing right now. It's like
coffee, like a mushroom coffee type thing.
Yeah, the mushroom. Yeah, that shit. That's it's got that kind of stuff in there. Yeah. And it's just supposed to. So on the I don't know if you can see this, but it's like the ingredients. It's hard to see, but I'll just read them to you. It says it's got a blend of hops. And the blend of hops is relaxing, crisp, and refreshing. Then it says ashwagandha to de-stress and unwind. And then it's got L-theanine in it. I don't know if you've heard of L-theanine. It's like it's derived from green tea, and they sell it at like Sprouts and Whole Foods as like a natural anti-anxiety medicine. It's called L-theanine. So they have hops, ashwagandha, mushrooms, and then L-theanine in it. So I don't know, their whole business plan, they say on the back of the can, is they wanted to, because it doesn't have alcohol in it, they wanted to add something in to kind of like relax you a little bit, like what you'd expect when you drink a beer.
Right.
But what's nice is that, like, if your doctor, which I have a doctor's appointment in a couple of weeks, I know they're going to yell at me for drinking. They're going to be like, you shouldn't be drinking. It's fucking with your blood pressure, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, doc, I got a plan. I'll drink fucking, just drink some hop waters or whatever, right? Like, I'm sure, dude, like when you get older, you just have to you can't party as hard, right? Am I wrong about saying that? You have to kind of cut back.
I mean, if you look at me, when we do beer reviews,
you're just like, fuck it,
when I'm with Jammer, usually if I'm doing beer reviews by myself, nobody else is joining in, I do 4,
2 or
maybe
3
5 at the most. Yeah, but usually around 3 or 4, maybe 5 at the most. When I'm with Jammer, 6, 7, 8. Matter of fact, we did like 5 the other day and then he continued. I got off.
I saw that. Yeah, he continued. Yeah. He sent me a link. But
you're probably right about the blood pressure thing, because a couple times drinking, especially when I do them with him, or even I guess if I do them after work and I'm tired, I guess, or I don't know. Sometimes I wake up and my heart, it feels like my heart's pounding, and I can feel it in my neck, like the.
Yeah, I hate that feeling. Yeah, that's your blood pressure going on, man. You can feel it. If you normally have like okay blood pressure, you can feel it when it spikes because you feel it in the neck. Yeah. That's a carotid artery right there, man. You're feeling it there. That's one of the main arteries. That's why you feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks. It's why I have a lot of bananas around. So if you ever feel like that way, if you just eat a banana, because that gives you potassium, and then drink a big cup of water, it goes away in about 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah, because potassium lowers your blood pressure, right?
Yeah.
That's why they use it in the death lethal injection, a whole bunch of it, because it stops your heart.
Yeah, it will stop your heart if you have too much. And here's the thing: people go, "Oh, I need electrolytes. I'm going to drink a Gatorade," but you don't realize that a Gatorade has 400 milligrams of sodium in it because it's expecting that you've been sweating and that you need to replace that. But when your blood pressure is high just from drinking and you're sleeping or whatever, if you just eat a banana and then just drink like a big glass of water, like 16-ounce, like pint of water, in about 30 minutes, the hydration plus the potassium, it's like a natural Gatorade, but without any of the sodium. And it'll restore you pretty quick. You can also get magnesium tablets. So when you drink, it depletes your body of magnesium, which is also one of the ingredients they put in Gatorade too. So think of it this way: there's 3 main things that regulate your pulse and blood pressure: sodium, potassium, and magnesium. And potassium and magnesium are the ones that sort of like lower your heart rate and lower your blood pressure. Sodium increases your heart rate and increases your blood pressure, but you need them all in tandem because, like you said, if you have too much of the potassium or magnesium, your heart will literally stop, right?
Yeah.
So it's a balancing act. So if you get fast heart rate, you can balance it out with magnesium, potassium, and water.
That's right. All of our Eclipse fans, that's your health tip for today. Especially if you're out there drinking in that hot sun when it gets cold. When that
drinking in the hot sun, then the eclipse comes, and then you're like, boom, you gotta
put your hoodie on because you're like, wow, I just got 20 degrees cooler. Yeah.
Got 20 degrees cooler. No, I told you I had a doctor's appointment upcoming. It's because of heart stuff. I've been dealing with heart palpitations and some other weird stuff. I don't know if you've ever felt like a heart flutter before, like you feel like a palpitation. You can kind of get those like a lot. It'll happen 20, 30 times in a day, and then it starts being sort of disruptive. You're like, what the fuck, Yeah. They can be pretty benign, though. They're called preventricular contractions, PVCs, and people get them all the time. Like, have you ever felt one? Like you feel your heart flutter for a minute? Like everybody's experienced it. You've never felt your heart skip a beat or...
No, but I felt it like beating rapidly though.
Okay. Some people don't feel it. Their heart can skip a beat and they don't feel it. It really depends on your nervous system. But if you feel them, it can be very imagine all of a sudden if you feel your heart like skipping around and shit, it like, it and in some cases it can be dangerous if you have certain type of. So I have to go in and do one of those heart holsters where they put shit on your chest and you go home with a little monitoring device and they monitor it for a couple days. So I'm going to be doing that. And I've actually been doing.
They give you the stress test, like where they put the stuff on you, you run on the treadmill and all that.
Yeah, I got to do all that. So, and my heart's been pretty good. I'd never had any problems before, but it's like I'm in my 40s. Like shit, just like I have had high blood pressure, which can damage your heart if you have it for too long. And so man, I mean, I have like a blood pressure cuff. I have all this stuff at home. Like it just, it's a little bit like
it sucks because you're like, well, you want to have fun like you always have. Whether you want to smoke some stuff or drink some shit.
Yeah, I have to watch I have to watch my alcohol intake. Like alcohol can literally be a trigger for heart stuff. It can actually even be a trigger for lung stuff. Like if you have too much alcohol, it can inhibit the ability for your lungs to convert like the air into like the hemoglobin and stuff in your lungs. So I don't know if you've ever gotten like really hungover. Like it doesn't really happen in young people because their lungs are still healthy. But like I have some lung issues. If I get really hungover, the next day my lungs feel a little heavy. It's kind of
I had that. And also they say decreases your lung capacity, alcohol does. So when I drink, actually, I like, man, sometimes I can't fall asleep. Not the day of, but the next day when I go to sleep, I feel like I'm trying to go to sleep. I'm losing my breath and I feel like I can't breathe or whatever. I don't know.
So, I mean, like my doctor would prefer that I have like 1 or 2 drinks a day max. Like you can have 2 beers. And by beers, they mean 2 younglings. You can't have like 2 8% IPAs. That doesn't count. There's like double the alcohol. Like you could have like one IPA.
And consider if you drink 5 beers, that's binge drinking.
Yeah. Which is crazy because it's easy as fuck to just drink 5 beers on, especially if you're hanging out with Jammer. We're doing something, you know.
Yeah. I mean, imagine all the days especially when you're younger. You know, I don't know what my max was, but I know I drank at least 14, 15 beers somewhere. I mean, a few more. You know.
You would easily be able to kill a 12-pack at the very least. Like I'd have a 12-pack, especially of a light beer, especially if it's like a Miller Lite or High Life. Dude, I could easily kill 12 bottles of High Life in a night and then still be like, where's more beer? I need more beer, you know?
Yeah, I used to kill like stuff like Newcastle Brown Ale or Yingling Black and Tan, a whole 12-pack, you know. Having a good day, listening to Rat and Roll and drinking. Oh, excuse me.
But that's why I got to mix in the hop water and a little weed so I can still feel like I'm, you know, I don't feel deprived if I do that. You know what I mean?
I wonder if we should change the channel and make it like we could bake like healthy foods or something, you know, like hey, this swallow health food review.
Yeah. Spit or swallow health review. Actually, that's hilarious. This spit or swallow health review. Because I will tell you right now, Shagdog, I have cooked a lot of healthy recipes. And I will tell you 9 out of 10 times if you find like, oh, here's a healthy recipe for bread or healthy, it's going to taste like fucking shit. It's going to be a spit every time. It's going to be the opposite of this show where we were talking about how it's very rare that you have like a thing you're pouring out. I made a fucking kale omelet the other day. It's just basically eggs and kale.
Yeah. How was it?
I mean, let me put it this way. I ended up having to pour nacho cheese on it to finish it and put some potatoes on it.
So the eggs don't cover mashed kale at all, or
I mean, I guess like instead of putting cheese and bacon and whatever, you just dice up some kale and a little onion and you just cook it with the eggs. And it just I mean, you still taste the eggs, but
I think it'd be better with spinach, maybe.
Yeah, it would be better with spinach. I mean, I did a spinach, mushroom, and Swiss the other day that was good.
And they say mushrooms are really good because they're low in calories.
They're low in calories. They have a ton of protein. Yeah, they fill you up. Yeah.
They say like if you're the type of person who usually eats 2 cheeseburgers, just get 1 cheeseburger, put some organic mushrooms on that bitch, and that will fill you up like pretty good. You know, you don't need a second cheeseburger.
So we live actually, what's good for us is we live by a mushroom farm called Hazel Dell Farm, and they have some amazing mushrooms there. And you get a big bag of them I mean, they're fancy mushrooms, but like you're sure you're paying $10, but you're getting 3 or 4 times what you would at the store. So it evens out because at Walmart, it's like $2 or $3 for a little thing. And, yeah, dude, I'm telling you, spinach, Swiss cheese, and mushroom is a very good combination if you're trying to go veggie. My cardiologist told me about Swiss cheese because he said it's the lowest sodium of all cheese. So, for instance, a slice of cheddar cheese has, I'm sure everybody watching this wants to know this. A slice of cheddar cheese is like 200 milligrams of sodium. A slice of Swiss is 35 milligrams.
Oh, that's a big difference, yeah.
But you know, Swiss has got a lighter flavor though, because it doesn't have the salt. It doesn't have, and it does have that kind of funky Swiss flavor. Some people don't like that flavor.
I like it.
So,
you can't get a block of Swiss cheese though, can you?
Yeah, you can buy it in slices, or you can buy a block. You can buy a block.
How's it get the holes in it?
It still has the holes in the block.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah. In fact, Walmart, I like their Swiss cheese. In my area, it's $2 for an 8-ounce block, which is pretty fucking cheap.
Great value, or is
great value? Great value Swiss.
Really? It's in the regular cheese section, like where they have all the shredded cheese and all that. Great value? Or?
Yeah, it's just in there. Yeah, and then you can buy it. They have a sliced version that has deli sliced Swiss, Great Value.
Yeah,
and then they
block at ours. That's weird.
Yeah. I like the block better because it doesn't have. They put additives in the shredded cheese and the They put cellulose in there to keep the pieces apart or whatever. But yeah, sometimes I'll buy the slices just because it's easy. But yeah, what I've been doing is so I like sandwiches a lot, but deli meat has so much fucking shit in it and salt and everything. So yeah, so I've been buying just frozen chicken and cooking it in I steam it, like poach it in my Instapot. And then I slice it up thin, and then I just grill it and saute it kind of in a pan to get a little color on it. And then I just basically I do grilled chicken and Swiss sandwiches with spinach, tomato, and red onion. On like a healthy bread, like a whole wheat bread. And yeah, and then I'll have potato chips, but I get the Great Value lightly salted potato chips, and I'll put those on there. And then I just have a seltzer water with it. That's like probably my most common lunch, is like a chicken and Swiss sandwich, homemade, with low sodium chips and a seltzer water. Sounds really boring, I know, because I can't eat red meat. I love bacon, Shagdog. I've eaten so much bacon in my life, and I just, like, I can't do bacon or beef anymore because it's got too much cholesterol and too much.
I tell you what, sometimes my mother, she'll cook too much bacon.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but she'll put it in a Ziploc bag, stick it in the fridge. I just can't resist. I'll eat that whole fucking bag. See that shit?
Yeah. But now when I eat bacon, or if I eat like a greasy bacon cheeseburger or something, man, I'll feel my heart rate start to go up, and then I'm like, fuck,
Isn't it a shame that a cheeseburger, one of the great, beef, a burger, one of the most greatest tasted things, I think, on the earth.
It is.
And it's
I
so
can still
unhealthy.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, I still have beef every once in a while.
But every time, right now, just thinking about it.
Yeah. No, but every time I eat it, though, I either feel guilty or I get some kind of physical symptoms, and I'm like, I just, it just doesn't make sense. I'm like, why am I paying extra money? Because beef is expensive. Like, why am I paying money to feel like shit, Right.
I think we should just go find our own cows and slaughter them and steal the meat, right?
I guarantee you, if I was eating like grass-fed beef, it'd probably be better. Like, I'm talking, I mean, if I buy beef, I'm just going to the grocery store and just getting, You
ever have the bison?
Yeah, I've had bison. I really like bison, actually.
Oh yeah, I never had it. Jabber has, but I never tried it. But
I've only had the ground bison. I hear that if you have bison in like a steak form, it's very tough, because bison it's a very lean meat. So a bison steak would suck. Like, there's some places that actually have bison ribs. There's a Native American restaurant here in Colorado. They do like fry bread and bison. They have all these traditional Native American foods, which is kind of cool. Like, Native American food is its own kind of like spices and flavors and stuff. And it's all based off stuff that you can get in North America, right? Like bison, for instance. Like Chinese food, you're getting Szechuan sauce or soy sauce, all these like international flavors. Like, Native American food is very like prairie like, it's like bison, fry bread, cactus. Like fresh herbs. Yeah, they sometimes there can be cactus and stuff in there. But it's very tough meat. Prairie dog. Yeah, I mean, honestly, if I was a settler and I was going west and I was hungry and I saw these little fucking things popping out of the ground and I had my gun, I'd be like, boom. Hell yeah, that's fucking dinner,
That's prairie rabbit.
Prairie rabbit, yeah. I mean, they're a rodent though, so it's kind of like eating a rat. I don't think the meat is going to be that good, but so bison, if you grind it like a ground beef, it tenderizes it when you grind it, so it's easier to eat, and it has a gamey flavor. Like, have you ever had venison? Have you ever had deer meat?
Yeah, as a ground, like a hamburger. Venison, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, but it's similar to venison. It's leaner, and I would say it has more of an earthy kind of flavor, because honestly, especially bison or a deer that's out grazing, eating more grass instead of grain, you can kind of taste what they eat. What they eat sort of translates to the flavor a little bit. So it does. They just say the taste is called gamey. It tastes like Gamey, yeah. And I just think that's like it's a more bitter, herbally kind of, it's not like sweet and succulent like a, grain fed, farm cow.
Like 10,000 years ago, cows that were grazing wild, I guess maybe
they were probably more gamey. They were probably more muscular and less fat and stuff. Yeah.
Imagine that.
So the Clydesdale horses that their hooves are even covered in that fur, and like they just look like they could be living out in the snow. Like horses were like that too. They were bigger and they had much longer fur and hair covering them.
Yeah.
Because they had to survive. Like it was basically like they didn't have barns and shit they could go into when it got cold,
Yeah. Yeah. So you think it's evolution, huh?
Probably a little bit of it. Yeah.
Forced evolution.
Well, I guess you just call that domestication and breeding.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, so how did we get hairless?
Same thing.
Anunnaki enslaved us to dig gold and shit like that.
Well, you got to remember that there's a lot of ethnicities that started off pretty hairless. If you look at the Polynesian island type of people, or people that lived in Jamaica or the tropical zones, Africa, they didn't have a lot of body hair. They couldn't. I mean, I actually have some like Latino friends that have like, Brazilian background or Pacific Islander background, and their beards are really wispy. They don't even grow that much facial hair even, I feel like having a big thick beard is more like a Caucasian, Viking, Northern European kind of thing, right? Because that's the climate that you would need to have a hairy back and a hairy face. And
right. So what about the Hispanics though that do have like thick beards? But it's probably the Spanish, the European,
the European Spanish ancestry. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not the Indian part of it; it's the Spanish.
Yeah. So the Spanish came, and the Mayans that were here, they sort of mated with them, or even in some cases, like enslaved them, or whatever. Yeah. And they didn't have a lot of body hair. Same with the Native Americans in North America. I mean, just think when you see a picture of an Indian, they don't have big beards. They're very like
chest, right?
They're very like, they kind of look clean shaven. I think a lot of times they don't grow much facial hair.
And what was weird is when I learned in school about Indians, they said they removed their hairs with like, this is what the school said, with like clams or whatever. They pull the hairs out and take the root out, so that's why they would be smoother on the face or something. Or not.
But I think that they had less hair to begin with. If you had a big, thick beard, you couldn't be pulling out every one of those. That would just
it'd grow back. I think still, right?
Yeah, and I think that like if you have that sort of, I call it a puby beard, where it's like 10 hairs here, 10 hairs there. It's like it kind of grows out. Like you can kind of pluck those out pretty easily,
Nappy.
Yeah. Well, that's almost a racist word. I'm not saying you're no nappy hair. If you say somebody has nappy hair, that's supposed to be alluding to their.
I got some African descent in them, probably. I mean, most or some Mediterranean, possibly too, because if you see even old 70s movies, people that were in Mediterranean area with their shirts off on a boat, whatever, they look a little nappy too. They're not even black; they're Mediterranean type descent.
Yeah,
so, nappy bastards.
It's because I suppose everybody started off with a lot of body hair. Like when we were cavemen or whatever, we had a lot of hair, and I guess in hotter climates, you evolved faster to get rid of it, and then there is an awkward phase where, it's like you have like 5 chest hairs and they're long, and it just looks like, it looks just kind of gross. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you just have a couple hairs, it just
I've
like
had chest hair since I was like 5 years old.
Yeah, and I feel like also, and I think it's because of like, there was this whole thing of,
I started with like hairs around my nipples, and then a little line here. And like a little bit going there, it looked like a cross, but now it's all falling off. It's a fiery cross now.
So I remember Rush Limbaugh or somebody was saying like California has like runoff that's turning the frogs gay. Remember, like they said something about the frogs turning gay or something somewhere. I don't know if you remember that. But
sounds familiar, but I didn't know what it's from. Yeah.
But there, I think it stems from something that like saying that like modern day chemicals are like depleting testosterone out of men. And if you grew up in a time like, because remember that your body's formed in puberty and stuff. So when we were growing up in the 70s and 80s, we weren't getting polluted by these chemicals. So we still grew chest hair and still have the proper hormones or whatever. And now I swear, and maybe it's because everybody's shaving their chest, but I feel like these newer generations, it doesn't seem like they have beards or chest hair. Everybody looks all like androgynous and shit.
Well, that's what, because they're all growing beards, though. That's the thing. You got to grow a beard, right? But it could be something in the food, too, I think.
Yeah.
Testosterone, like too much estrogen in the food or something that causes estrogen. I don't know.
So if you look at soy, and I don't have a problem with soy on paper, but soy and soybean oil is like in everything, you know, and that has a ton of plant estrogen in it, you know. And I think you have to have a lot of it to make a difference. But I also think it could be environment, like microplastics can mess with your hormones. And they're saying that microplastics are like in everything now.
That's a possibility.
Well, they say even if it rains.
Think of aluminum in a can. What do you think about that?
Well, they have actually that has a plastic. Do you know all cans now have a plastic liner? It keeps the metallic taste out.
Well, what about that plastic though?
It leaches into stuff, so it's called microplastics, and they're saying it's even in the rain now. If you go out to the most remote population you can, like in the middle of the rainforest, even the rain coming out of the sky has microplastics in it because of all the plastic. So people don't realize is like, guess where the clouds get their rain? They get it from the oceans. So we have all this plastic. Have you heard of those islands of plastic in the oceans and shit? Like they're big piles of trash,
right,
just like
especially like the Indian Ocean.
Yeah, they clump into big piles, and it's just so that's in the water that turns into rain because as the water evaporates off the ocean, it goes into the clouds, and those clouds travel all over the world, and they create rain. And that rain then has plastic in it, like microplastic particles from the trash sitting in the ocean. So it's
even water bottles, but they say worse is even sodas in a plastic bottle, like the corrosiveness of like a cola or something in a plastic bottle is even worse. You know, leaking into the drink, you know.
But even if you never drink any of that, every time it rains, just everything you're breathing that's in the crops, everything. So
you think the Earth wants plastic? That's what George Carlin said. The reason why we're here is to make plastic because the Earth couldn't create plastic by itself. So we were made to make plastic for the Earth.
Actually, some life forms thrive on it. It's funny you say that. There's bacteria that eats plastic, but they're a harmful bacteria. Like they eat plastic, but they also fuck up ocean life too. It's like there's all these fish dying and all this shit. Man, this is depressing. We should be celebrating the eclipse.
Yeah. Anyhow, I gotta get going, Jammer.
Me too, man. Me too. I gotta go get some food and go to bed.
Yeah, I gotta eat something a little quick and go to bed here. It's 12:11, past my bedtime.
Yeah, 10:11 here. Past my bedtime because my bedtime. I should have just been waking up.
I only drank four beers, 5 maybe at the most. 4. I know definitely 4. So it'd be funny if I wake up with a slight hangover and just decide I'm going to call in.
Oh, well, hey man, peace out, bro. It was good doing Eclipse hangout.
All right, I like the way the sun's blaring through your window there.
It is, yeah. It's gotten more. It's like woo, like we're going Eclipse crazy.
It'll be dark though.
Soon it'll be dark. Yeah, I'll darken down. All right, man. Peace out.
All right, Jammerfan. Thanks for joining. If I can find the exit video. Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. It wasn't planned. Our super duper Eclipse live video. And we talked about marijuana and plastics and health food and stuff like that. So Jammerfan brings out the best of everything. We'll see you on the next one. Maybe tomorrow night, me and Jammer. Spit or Swallow beer review.